Now, the other day I spoke about, or I posed a challenge to my brothers and sisters from Africa, and especially our leaders, concerning the notion that we have entertained throughout the years that it is difficult to do well or succeed in our original countries, our African countries, and that usually circumstances are better far away from home, that we have to cross the boundaries of oceans and seas and continents in search of a better life. And as a matter of fact, I challenged our leaders, African leaders specifically, including and not limited to presidents, persons who hold positions of great influence in Africa. And I asked questions. For example, I was asking why this is the case. Why is it that politicians seem to easily access wealth in Africa than anyone else? Why is it that it is only villages belonging to politicians in the rural areas that have access to tarmac roads and all that? Why is it that there seems to be a widening gap between the rich and the poor in our beloved countries? And I was challenging African leaders to really stop the nonsense of corruption and embezzlement of public funds. And I challenged African governments and thought leaders in Africa and everyone in Africa who has any form of influence to call for accountability structures and systems that can check when the people's resources are being misappropriated or being utilized in a manner that is only benefiting a few and not benefiting every member of our African society. Because it appears to be the case. And today is just brief and quick. It's on two things. One, it has to do with the elusive American dream. If there exists an American dream, and many of my brothers and sisters have left Africa and gone to the West in pursuit of the American dream. My question to my fellow Africans is, when will we start talking about the African dream? When will we start talking about the Kenyan dream? The American dream, so far as I know, is becoming elusive. And it is never satisfying until we succeed back home, until we succeed in our regional countries, until our people overcome barriers and obstacles back home. We will never know satisfaction. And friends, we must now challenge our leaders, our politicians, because they are the ones who are, steering the economic wheels of our nations. We must ask them these questions. When are we going to discuss access to water, for example, in rural Kenya? When are we going to discuss the welfare of the communities who are living in the remote areas of Kenya? How are we going to make their lives better? Are you just being voted in office and disappearing to the nation's capital and forgetting everything about the people you represent? Are you going to parliament to side with selfish interests of those who are in power? Or you are going to parliament to challenge the status quo and ask the nation to focus on what really matters? These are important questions that every African nation, African citizen, every person in Africa should hold their government accountable. And once again, friends, it's not now about whether the person in power is from your tribe or from the other tribe. It doesn't matter. If we had systems and structures, if we had serious, a serious culture of accountability and fighting for the common good of everyone, it wouldn't matter. It shouldn't be an issue of what tribe the person who is being elected comes from. That should not be the issue. But because of how we have been indoctrinated and how we've been accustomed to pathetic beliefs and, very interesting, not interesting, but very complicated way of doing things, we now think that when our tribesman is in State House, now things will be better. No, it's not that way. It is when we have clear structures, accountability structures, systems that check those who are in power, how they are spending our money, because taxes belong to the people. It is us, the people, who are paying taxes, and we need to demand services. Are you telling me that 60 years after independence in Kenya, 60 years of self-rule in Kenya, are you telling me that 60 years after independence, are you telling me that my local village, my rural village in Kenya, the government of Kenya would not have found a way of connecting that locality with a tarmac road and some connection to water? Are you telling me that we can't afford that as a country from, having been in self-rule for 60 years? Something is wrong. Something is very wrong, and we must question these things, friends. I have seen young people leave in Kenya to other countries, and that's okay. I'm not here to discourage you from going abroad. I'm not here to discourage you from going abroad for better opportunities. I'm here to challenge our leaders who have made that culture stick with us for very many years. I'm here to challenge our leaders who have made it difficult for young people, well-intended young people who love their country. But because of the way the country is being run, they don't find it attractive anymore. We have a beautiful country back there called Kenya, but it is being made unattractive to her own citizens, young people, the young youth who have received an education in our local universities and colleges. They are finding our country unattractive because some politicians are colonizing Africa. African politicians, you seem to be, we need to investigate whether you are really leading Africa or are you colonizing Africa? Are you colonizing your own people? Are you only pulling things to your corner while the masses are suffering? These are questions that we must ask. My name is Nzioka. I'm an economist, I'm a theologian, I'm a preacher, I'm a musician, I'm an author and all that, and I must question these things. I will keep questioning them, and I will keep enlightening the masses and telling the masses that you should not be comfortable with the status quo. Ask questions. Ask provocative questions. Ask why things are being done the way they are being done and why not the other way. Because at the end of the day, we don't become believers so that people can abuse our rights and our resources. No, we have to ask these questions. We have to challenge the government of the day. And that's what I'll be doing here, in addition to my preachings, in addition to my music, in addition to my inspirational messages. I will be raising very pertinent questions that have to do with the welfare of human beings, not only in Kenya, not only in Africa, but all across the world. Thank you so much for joining me. and I'll be posting regularly on these subjects and these topics, and I hope that we will keep connecting. Please tell me what do you think about this in the comments section, and you can reach me directly as well. I am providing my email address here. You can always get in touch. God bless you.